Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Let's Get Chatting podcast. I am your main host, Josh. Bicker is the BTEC host.
That's bullying. That is straight up bullying. I'm going after this. Good job we got HR now, so I'm gonna put in an official complaint to our HR lady and get some money back. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this conversation.
Yeah, that's not how it works. You're very welcome. And we've got Emily with us, who we're going to go through. Everyone's going to find out exactly what Emily does, what she's about very shortly. But before I get into any of that, I just want to request everybody, or just let everybody know that you can just please go to our socials, basically. Spotify, we need reviews. Apple Podcasts, we need reviews. So please, if you're listening, just hit that 5-star, type a little message in, and then follow us on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. YouTube subs are down. It's like our lowest. So
I'm not surprised because the listeners obviously hear the amount of bullying you do towards me, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not supporting him. Don't support that guy."
I don't know what Bicker's doing tonight. He's like really trying to fix his words. He's like, "Oh yes, don't worry about that." Like, oh, come on, man. Don't usually talk like that. What's going on?
Don't worry, I'm from Crawley, so I don't talk like that either.
I gave him a bit of a grilling before we started. I was like, Bicker, why does your face not move?
This is the bullying that I have to put up with. It's extremely unprofessional. Let's carry on.
It's not a professional podcast, guys, so don't worry about it. Anyway, to make Bicker more comfortable. No, sorry, it's just because we had a conversation before this. I'm dying to know. What we tend to do, Emily, is before we get into anything, we'll just have a little chat so everyone can sort of get in the groove of talking, and then we'll just go into it all. So I always literally start off like, what you've been up to today or the past few days? Been chilling? Been good?
Yeah, I've been working, so I work from home today, which was nice. I do a mixture of in and out of the office, so
how do you find
nice.
working from home? I hate it. I can't stand it. I got ADHD. I'm way too bad.
No, I quite like it. As I work from home, so does my husband. So we've managed to. We don't fight or anything like that in the office. We share an office, but I quite like having my own, just doing my own thing and stuff. So
yeah. I mean, I think I would, but I get too many distractions. Like my problem is this is my podcast studio / game streaming studio / work office. So if I'm working from home, I'm like, there's FIFA, there's RuneScape, there's too much going on.
Yeah, I don't know how my husband does it because he's a gamer as well. So he literally lives in the office for work and gaming, but he's very strict with himself, and so he doesn't kind of mix the two, but he lives in the office.
That's what we call mental stability. That's not what I have. What games does he play? Do you know?
All sorts. I wouldn't be able to name them. I think he's playing a Batman one at the moment.
Arkham's they're fucking good games. I can't lie, they're amazing. They're so good. Bicker was really good at FIFA.
I am. Yeah, so I've completed it twice, prestige 4 times, and
I
haven't been on for a while because I'm still haven't paid me fee, but never mind, that will come.
I remember one. I think it was during COVID. It must have been New Year's. We did the usual lot that we hang out with on New Year's. We did a Zoom, and at 2 a.m, obviously drunk, we managed to. They was like, "Oh, let's get the girlfriends and wives to play FIFA." That was quite entertaining.
I can imagine that was comical.
That was class.
I'm glad to say I'm pretty sure I won the game. So
there we go. We'll take that. Winner by nature. Bix, what have you been doing? What have you been up
to? Well, been getting bullied a bit today. Been working where have I been working? Near Bromley today. Yeah, so up near London, and it's been all right, to be fair. Not a bad day. I'll tell you what, I feel good because I went on the treadmill this morning and I started the day real positive, but by the end of the day I'm getting a bit bullied, but doesn't matter.
Well, listen, this isn't going to come out for a few weeks, but what I will say is last episode I said I'm buying a treadmill, and behind me I've got a fucking treadmill. I do what I say I'm going to do, and I've done it. It's not, in fact, no, it's not a treadmill, it's a walking pad. I can't run on it.
Pink.
Yeah, it was cheap, man. I got it.
It was cheap. Pink.
Maybe pink, right? You know what they say? Pink to make the girls win. No. Yeah. Anyway, wink. It was basically I bought it off Facebook and it was half price, and it still had the cellophane on it. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
you know. So yeah. Anyway, well, my week's been alright. I was in central London today, like the middle of London as well. It was like,
I'm dreading that. I got to do that tomorrow.
I hate London, man. I can't
So
stand
yeah,
it sucks. And funny story that basically I went to a job and I'm ginger, right? So woman goes, "Oh, has anyone ever told you you look like Ed Sheeran?" I'm like, "No," and that's you're only saying that because I'm ginger, right? It's obvious. I don't think I'm not. My face isn't that round. You know, it's getting there, but it's not yet. And so I said to her, "No," but I made a joke and I was like, "Nah," but someone's told me I look like and I was pretending I didn't know who David Beckham was. It was so funny. Anyway, she was like, I basically turned around. I was like, "Yeah, David Beckham." She just went, "Yeah, it's funny how everybody sees things differently, isn't it?" I was like, "Well, that's my cue to leave." So yeah, that's happened to me this week. But other than that, I've just been chilling, and I haven't been ill this week. Usually, I'm ill every week, Emily. Like literally every week, I get sick. So we're on to a good, and we're on Thursday, nearly Friday, and I've completed the week. So yeah, that's all good. So what you do? We'll call it OCR, obstacle course racing. That's going to kill me with my lisp, man. That is actually going to kill me. I'm the one who can usually talk as well, so this is already a good start.
Do the 7 sizzling sausages.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not saying that. So yeah, obstacle course racing. Brilliant. There we go. Got it out. I'm just going to say OCR now, so I don't trip over my words. How did you get into that? How do you get into something like that? Because it's quite niche,
Yes,
isn't
it is. So, back in, I think it was like 2017, all my like guy mates were doing a Tough Mudder, if you've heard of Tough Mudders.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
quite popular in the UK. And I was like, yeah, I want to do that. I didn't, I was a little bit into the gym, but not massive or anything. But I thought, oh, it was quite a good challenge.
Yeah.
So I did that, kind of trained a little bit. I tried to run, but it's pretty much it was just walking around the course. Most of the guys throwing me over the obstacles.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm 5 foot, so I'm quite short.
Oh wow,
So
yeah.
it was most of the case just me getting lobbed over stuff. But quite enjoyed it. And then I didn't do it for a bit because I thought I'm not going to do anything crazy before my wedding. Didn't want to break anything.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And then after that, a friend asked me if I wanted to do a Spartan race. So they're kind of like a sister company to Tough Mudder.
Okay.
So kind of like Tough Mudder, but less muddy.
Less
So
muddy, right?
much more up my street.
Right.
Yeah, did that with a friend, just open for fun. And again, I couldn't do some of the obstacles, but I really liked it.
Yeah.
And another friend had done it, and she was like, "Oh, we're going to sign up to the trifecta. So that's you have to do the beast, the super, and the sprint, and that's a half marathon, 10K, 5K with varying obstacles." And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And, I was on the buzz. I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." Signed up for it, paid for it all, and then COVID happened.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But just before COVID happened, I'd found you could actually go to some play parks that have obstacles.
Right.
So I did a training session. I just wanted to be a little bit better, just to do the obstacles. And then I kind of got a bit hooked.
Yeah.
So once I started, and they were like, "Oh, you got a bit of a natural ability." So pretty much throughout COVID, they always say look for a positive. It actually gave me so much more time to train.
Yeah.
So I started doing more strength training. And then once you could go and exercise outside, I went to the training parks and just started training probably trained for about a year because no events could happen. And then someone said to me, "Why don't you just do it competitively? So there's no difference other than you've got to follow the rules, but just try it." I was like, "Oh, I'm not sure, not sure if I'm that good or anything." But I thought, no, I'm going to push myself out my comfort zone.
100%.
So I did, on the Saturday, I did an open race with a friend. And then the Sunday, I did competitive. And I did all right. Nothing amazing, but I was like, well, I wasn't last.
Yeah, it's always a win, isn't it? Right.
and I did the obstacles. So I was like, okay. And then the rest of that year, I think there was only one other event. And I did that. I did a trifecta, but in one weekend.
Okay.
So I did the long one on the Saturday, and then you did the 2 shorter ones on the Sunday. So that's like you get a special medal for that.
I'd actually be
but
dead.
I bottled doing it competitively, so I get quite bad with like my race nerves. So at the
Right, yeah.
time, I bottled it. But
Yeah.
then I was like, the next year was like my full year of competitive racing. So yeah, it's pretty much just got addicted to it.
Just got addicted. It's funny, isn't it? Because it's something you probably clearly never even thought about. Like before
No,
that,
and
it was
it's
like,
funny
Yeah, it's like,
because
where would you even go for like that though? Like, do you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like you say in these parks, I wouldn't even know where to look, like to go
yeah.
to
Well,
them.
and that was only my uncle said. Like he's a PT, and he was like, He's like, I'm sure I've seen something. Can you just Googled it and say we came across? But I'd never have thought to even look for an obstacle park before.
Yeah.
so prior to sort of prior to any of that, was you like you said you like went to the gym a little bit, but like training wise was like in school anything like that? Or did you do like any sort of like
I
athletics?
absolutely hated PE.
Same.
Okay.
I think my PE teachers would be laughing if they saw me now.
Yeah, to be fair,
Um,
mine would be at me as well. Like,
yeah,
in all fairness, I was like really chubby in school, and I never did PE, man. I was like, I hated all that crap. Like, I like playing badminton, which is
yeah, I like
something
badminton.
I was
Yeah,
really into for a little short period of time.
Mm.
I was actually pretty good at it as well. Bicker, you were good at badminton as well.
Yeah.
Played for the county a little bit, and but yeah, I never seen myself like doing anything physical. And then obviously Jamie, he'll probably have a bit more to relate to you in this one because he's done like lifting for like GPC Britain and all that sort of stuff. So he went to the gym and then I went to the gym, and like if my PE teacher see me now, I'm not in as good a shape as I was, admittedly, but still I think they'd probably think I'm like obese by now. Like they would have thought like, because I was a proper goth as well. I had like long dyed black hair, like
yeah,
mate. Like, so if they could imagine me now, I'd have been like obese,
If you got
like
a hoodie on.
yeah, nothing wrong with corner's still good, man. Anyway, so yeah, it's crazy. Like, so there was just no sort of like no
no, yeah.
athleticism, but
I liked sport. I didn't. I guess at school I didn't really like the like like the politics and the groups kind of thing.
sure, yeah,
And then my brother was always into football, so I like played a bit of football with him.
yeah,
I say my uncle's a PT and has done taekwondo and stuff, so I kind of dabbled in taekwondo for a little bit.
sure, yeah.
When I went to uni, I got a gym membership. I'd go once or twice a week. So I've always liked it, but not necessarily been overly enthusiastic or wanted to be competitive.
Yeah, I get you. I
Um,
get you.
and like
Well,
my parents aren't into sports or competitive, so it was quite a shock really for me
mine
to
definitely
get
aren't
into
into any
this.
sports either. So
So how long have you like been doing this for now? Like just from the start, like from when you first started that very first session when you went in there to like now, how long has that
Yeah,
been?
so the training, I'd say that was 2020. I think that's when
Okay.
COVID happened, wasn't it?
5 years.
So
So it's really
yeah,
Yeah,
5 years.
not that
So
long really.
no, so it was the year of kind of full training during lockdown, and then yeah, I'm going into my fourth year of competitive racing.
wow.
Mm.
So what, like, if you don't mind me asking, what did you do at uni? I'm assuming it's
So
like
I did,
completely different.
yeah, I did, I did environmental health,
Oh, okay.
which is it's what I do now for work. So it's like food safety, health and safety. Um,
God, you'd hate me.
Mm. Mm.
Health and safety is not.
well, it's quite funny because the sport I do is
Yeah,
not
yeah,
particularly health and
Yeah,
safety.
yeah,
So
yeah.
throwing
Yeah.
myself over things and cutting my legs and
that is two
Going
worlds
against the grain
colliding.
there, yeah.
That is two worlds colliding, right? Wow, that's cool. That's it. So, like, mentality wise, obviously, you've got to have like a super strong mentality to do what, like, obstacle course racing in general. Because I would come up against someone and be like, "Oh fuck, I can't do that." Like, that's just me. Like,
yeah.
I think I'd probably be a bit like that. So, do you like? How do you get that? Is that just you as a person? You've just like determined and you're like, I'll do
Yeah,
it.
I think I've definitely had like my mind blocks.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, obviously height. So I'm 5 foot, so I'm quite short. So I have a bit of a thing with jumping.
Yeah.
So there's like one of my videos on Instagram. I'm like proper like I'm like stalling, and everyone says I'm like revving because I don't want to jump to the obstacle. Once I'm on it, I'm fine.
Yeah,
But kind
yeah.
of getting on it, especially when it's if you jump and miss it, and that's it, you've failed it. So even though
Oh,
you could do
really?
the yeah, you can't just get back up and try again, depending on the
Fuck.
race. So it's that pressure as well. So
Shit.
I've always had a thing with jumping, but that's what I've been working on with my coach. So it's
Brilliant.
just I guess it's that repetitive and just trying to drill it into you that you can do it. But yeah, and then the actual races themselves, you really have to be quite strong mentally as well, because
Yeah.
especially the long
Yeah.
ones, it's pretty brutal.
How
And you
long does
can't-
a race last?
Yeah.
It depends on the race, but an average Spartan 10K would be between an hour and 2 hours, depending on if it's on a mountain or not. But I did some Spartans in
It takes me about an hour and 10 just to do 10K, let alone with obstacles in the way.
Yeah, I did Spartan in Canada on one of the mountains there, and
Wow.
I did the half marathon distance, 21K, and I think I was out for about 6 hours. That was brutal.
Damn. What do you do for food? Is there like little snack shops?
You have to take it with you. So you have
Need
to
a
like
boost
figure out
bar.
if you literally you have
Oh,
to
do
take your
you?
fuel.
Wow,
So yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's nuts. With regards to like, obviously, because there's certain things you can't get better at, like jumping. You can jump a certain amount higher, but you can't really get like better at jumping. Can you? You can't jump higher,
I think
right?
I have. I think I can jump higher than I could. And that's just like it's like strength training in your legs really.
Damn, I should be
I'm
able to
guessing
jump.
stretching comes into that as well. Really?
Yeah.
In a way.
Yep.
I got pretty strong legs. I can only jump like, I swear, like this high. I can't jump very high. That's mental. It's nuts because you think like with like certain sports, you think like there's got to be like a physical sort of like obstruction, if that makes sense. Like for me, I'm pretty short as well. So if I was like going to play football, I'd never be a defender, for an example.
Mhm.
So like the fact that you've got over that, especially in like the type of racing you do, is like really fucking cool. Because
Yeah.
most people would be like, I'm not tall enough, I'm not doing it.
It's quite funny because some
you know?
people still will say that, and I'm standing there like, sorry, I can do it now.
What's the average height of the other like? Because is it male races and female races, or are they
Yeah.
mix?
Yeah, so there's definitely there's not more men to women ratio.
Mm.
But yeah, there's a mix of heights, but I say I'm definitely on the shorter side.
Oh, that's cool. The fact that you're still like smashing it, that's respect to that 100%. So you went from training and you did some competitions. So who are you running for now? Is it?
So I run for the PT barn races.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so my little green top.
Is it so? How does that work then? Is it like different federations as such?
So we've got the British Obstacle Sport Federation. So they're federation for the sport. They're kind of like pushing and promoting the support. They're actually trying to get it to be like a recognised sport for the Olympics. So that's kind of in progress at the moment.
So soon we'll be able to say we've had an Olympic athlete on, right?
Hopefully. And then you have different teams, so you don't have to be in a team, but a lot of people will be in a team. It's quite nice just to have that support.
So can you do like a single then, like a single race and a team race, or and like doubles?
Yeah, so most people will race singly, and then you might do like an open fun run as a team.
Oh, okay. And that's where they can like push you over and give you a hand.
Yeah, or sometimes there'll be like a series that that is put on, and then you race singly and you get points for yourself, but then you also get points for your team.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Which is quite good. Yeah.
So what would be like the standard obstacles? Like obviously because I've seen on your Instagram, but the people who listen to this are going to be like, okay, cool, obstacle racing, is that like boxes you like jump over? Like what?
People probably be thinking it's like Ninja Warrior or something like that.
Well,
like
it's hilarious because that's what I said to my fiance. I said, that's obstacle course racing. And she was like, oh yeah, like Ninja Warrior, as if she knew. I was like, well, no. So
yeah, there's some bits. They're kind of a lot of the ninjas have actually come to OCR now, which is quite cool. So some of the ninjas that have been on the Ninja Warrior program, they now do OCR.
Have you ever been interested to go on?
I don't think I can handle the pressure.
Yeah,
I think
I'd just like
bottle it. Yeah.
People screaming, they go, beat the wall.
Yeah. And yeah, so obstacle wise, I guess the standard obstacles you find are like walls. So they're one of my nemesis, even though they're an easy obstacle. But obviously, if you get a 8 to 10 foot wall, That's quite high for me.
Yeah, so what are you doing?
So I have been
That's where that
found.
jumping, does it not
Yeah,
where like the jumping comes involved
that's where the
and stuff?
jumping comes in. Yeah, I've definitely been at a race where I've been at a wall for probably about 20 minutes, just running at the thing, trying to get it,
wow.
and half the time eventually get it. I gave a band in once for a wall because it was just I've been there for 20 minutes and I had other
Yeah.
bands, so I was like, right, I'm just gonna have to let this one go.
So what's a
Um,
band?
Yeah, well, yeah. I was gonna
So
say.
there's different systems for the racing. So
Okay.
so for a Spartan race, it's just you race, and if you can't do an obstacle, there's a penalty.
Okay.
So it's normally like a running loop or with a carry.
Okay.
But the races like the European Champs and the Worlds, you have bands. So
Okay.
you get 3 bands, so you wear them on your wrist. And when you fail an obstacle, you get a band cut.
Okay.
And you
Okay.
have to finish with at least 1 band. So if you finish with 1 band, you have to gain your 2 bands back. So
Okay.
you basically have to finish with all bands, but you
Okay.
can finish with 1 or 2, and then you'd gain 1 or 2 back by doing the penalty.
Right.
If you
Okay.
lose all 3 bands, that's it. You're out. You're essentially disqualified.
What? But
Or
these people still
you can
running the rest
carry
of the
on, but you
race, and
don't
you're
get a time. Yeah,
Right. Okay.
wow.
yeah,
I'd just
Yeah, that'd be soul
look
destroying if
left
you've been
and walk.
training for like so long as well, and you like
yeah. And
first 20
then
minutes some mental obstacles, and you have to hand that in. I'll be like, oh.
exactly, yeah. And there's another system which some races, a lot of the some of the Spanish races that I've done, it's a 1 band system, and it's you can try the obstacle as many times as you want,
Yeah.
but if you basically then have to admit defeat. So if you get to an
Right.
obstacle and you keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and you can't do it, you then have to say, am I going to give it up? Which is also pretty
Yeah, that's
self-destroying.
savage, isn't it? Yeah, that is
Yeah,
savage because
yeah,
it's one of them where like sometimes like you can have the mentality or you like, but you sometimes you just don't have the physicality to do something.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah, or
it's
you just haven't practiced that skill. It's a new obstacle that's come in, and you just can't do it.
so with like the obstacles on the race, do you get like prepped? Like, do you get like prepped? Like, oh, this race is going to have this. Do they tell you, or is it just like boom, here you
Yeah.
go?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them you'll get a list of obstacles and you'll get the rules beforehand.
Oh, cool.
So you can
What, and in
kind
which
of
order as well? So
yeah. So
okay.
some of them you'll get the map as well, so you can kind of roughly know where they are.
Oh, that's cool.
So you
Yeah,
can sort of like train to that, like so you're mentally
and
prepared before you
some
get
will
there.
release like videos, so you can kind of see how someone else does it.
That's cool.
So yeah, so like last year, one of the obstacles I got my husband to make for me.
There
I
you
put on
go.
my rig just
Yeah.
so I could practice the move. But then some, so like the race I just done in Mallorca, the Spartan,
Mhm.
I know Spartan obstacles, so I genuinely know probably what's going to be there, but they didn't actually release an obstacle
I think I
list or a
seen on your
map. So
post you put that there was a new obstacle in your post, didn't you?
yes,
Yeah.
So that was kind of like a going in blind.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's actually crazy though. I can't imagine like going into a race being like, right, there's going to be these things I got to do, but I don't have a clue what they are. Like,
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
like so the race I just did the first normally with Spartans, it's pretty standard that you get walls, like the lower walls to start with.
Right.
And usually I'm like, yep, done it, I'm good. First obstacle done, let's go. First obstacle this time was the slack line, which I don't know if it's like a ratchet strap, and you
Okay.
have to balance on it. It goes from like a post to post.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so that did not go well. I
That's
thought quite
mental.
mean for a first obstacle.
Yeah, right. So how long's usually like between, like, say like you've got like a wall and then you've got your next obstacle, how long is in between these obstacles during a race? Like roughly, is it like a few K or is it like
Again, it's really different on each race. So
yeah.
like that race, it was about a 2K run before I hit any obstacles, and then I did the slack line, and then it was probably half a K to the next, and there was like a batch of obstacles.
Okay.
So it's like there was like 4 back to back.
Wow, so you've already ran 2K and then you got to try to get over this wall. I'm running 1K and I'm hitting a mental wall. Can I go to bed? Is anyone, you know? That's so okay. Wow, because I thought, like, I'll be open and honest, like when I saw obstacle race, I thought, right, it's going to be like a little obstacle, not a little obstacle course, but
Yeah.
a bigger course, but not as long as you say, like 10K. Fucking hell, Jesus, that's a lot. That's heavy.
Yeah, some people would
Josh in his head
do
like had some
ultras.
like Josh in his head like had some like cones on a field, like and just running around some cones.
I'm just even imagining training montages like on Rocky 3 when he's in like the snow and he's like, dun, 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 dun.
That's probably what my neighbours think of me, probably.
So you do run for Britain, is it? Is that
Yes, so I made the team GB.
sick?
So yeah, for the age group category. So there's age group, and then we have elite racers as well.
Wow. So how did that feel? I bet that was like, whoa.
Yeah, it's really good. You have to qualify at certain races, so it depends on your
that's
position in a race. So
That's cool.
yeah,
That's cool.
it's really good, and it was really nice, like putting the top on. It's quite like a proud moment.
Yeah, definitely a proud moment for sure.
Yeah.
I'll never amount to anything like that, so I'm gonna live vicariously through you today, all right? So, okay, cool. So you go abroad like a fair bit with this, right?
Yeah.
How does that work?
So not everyone will.
Sponsorships and that. Do you have sponsorships?
Unfortunately not. It's I don't think some of the elite races will have kind of sponsors, but it's not quite big enough in the UK, I wouldn't say.
Right.
So most of the elite races will all have full-time jobs. So we all just do it kind of, it's like just for fun really, and the love of it. So I do spend a lot of my money on OCR.
It's the same with us in this podcast. Don't you worry about it.
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah. But it's an excuse to go abroad, really.
Yeah, I suppose.
Some of the I really like the obstacle elements. I've always preferred obstacles to running.
Yeah.
So if I can find a race that's heavier on the obstacles than the running, I prefer that. So, and a lot of the Spanish races are like that.
Okay.
So yeah, so I've been to Spain a fair bit for that. But yeah, and then I try and get a few touristy days in while I'm there. Eat the food, drink all the drinks and enjoy myself.
Where's like your favorite place that you've been with like the racing and just in general so far? Would you say Spain or?
That's a good question. Yeah, I'd say from a race point of view, I really like the bestial races. They're in the Canary Islands.
Okay, yeah.
So I've been to Tenerife, Gran Canaria, and Fuerteventura for those races.
Oh wow, that's good.
So obviously really nice areas, and they're really obstacle heavy. They're really so they're the ones with the one band where it's multiple tries. So,
okay,
yeah,
cool.
They're brutal though.
What about just in general? Like, where's if you take the racing out of it, but where's the best place you've been? Do you think would you still say Spain or?
Yeah, it's hard. So I've been to Canada. Like I've got family in Canada, so obviously I like that for that aspect.
Yeah.
But I quite like I really like Denmark and Sweden, like the Scandi countries. So I'd probably say there actually.
Sick. I think I was listening to a podcast today, and they was talking about being in Sweden, and they were saying it's like phenomenal. They loved it, and I was like, oh, maybe I should go there one day, but I'm going to be out of Europe soon, so there's not really. I won't be able to go to Europe too much. So yeah.
Oh yeah, still going off to America.
Yeah, can't wait. It's going to be sick. So he says.
Until he gets the post-traumatic access denied, they've seen his bullying against me. Like, nah, we're not having that scumbag in that country.
Visa cancelled.
Yeah, absolutely cancel him.
It's funny because I actually do have to think about that now, though. When I'm like doing something like, for example, if I'm driving and like someone cuts me up, I get such bad road rage, like really bad. And like if someone cuts me up, usually I'm like, fuck off and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, if someone gets out at me and like starts physically attacking me, like I can't really retaliate now because like if I get like done for anything, that's my visa like revoked.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, it's not even revoked because it's not been accepted, but it's just declined, and I'm like ruining my whole life over just like getting angry on the M25. Imagine. I got to tell my fiance, yeah, we can't go live with your family. Why? Wow, someone cut me up the other day, right? And shit went down. That wouldn't go down well in this household. I tell you
think so.
not a chance. So So you're doing all this. So where does it go? Like, what's sort of the plan? Are you just like just winging it with it, or
Yeah, a bit kind of winging it. I would like to get to elite level.
yeah?
That is the ultimate aim,
So
but I need
how
to
do
get
you?
faster.
Yeah,
How
I
do
need
you
to
get
get
up there?
faster.
just faster.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it?
So for me, my weakness is running.
Yeah.
I think if I was a faster runner, I think I think I would probably
So there's
do,
like a
you know,
certain
I'd be all
time
right in
you've
it.
got to get to.
Not that you have to get to, so I could race elite if I wanted to. I just the level that the elites are, I'm just, you know, they're way faster than me at the moment. So I just need to, I need to up my running and just get faster.
I
And
reckon
then,
if you hold out for a few years, right? Hear me out. This is my theory,
Oh, here we go. It's going to be
right?
a long one.
People are getting more unfit, more fat, and stuff. So if you just wait out a few years, you'll just kill it anyway because they'll be like, wait for everyone else to just retire, and then you can just keep going.
He says that
well,
now, but then
go on.
yeah, but then you're gonna like if it's gonna be in the Olympics, that won't happen though, won't it? If it's trying to be recognised as an Olympic sport,
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
that won't happen.
yeah. And also in the sport, it's like it's almost, I think with running as well, I think the older you get, the kind of more experience with running, the better you get with running.
Yeah.
Um,
Is there
like the
anyone like
peak,
you look up to with it? Like, is there anyone? So sorry, I just thought because you were on about running, I
yeah,
started thinking about David Goggins, and I was like, oh, he's such a legend, isn't he? You know, like, oh, what a legend.
Mm.
And then I sat there thinking, yeah, how is there anyone like in that sort of scene that you can look up to? Is there like anyone like who's like super like? Do they have like famous, not famous, but is there like top notch people who like everyone knows about? Or
yeah. I'd say a lot of the elites are like everyone would probably know who they were in the sport if you said their
yeah,
name, but they're all
yeah,
really like approachable. Like that I talked to them in training. I saw some of them at a run the other day, and I'm like, oh, hi Emily, you know. So
yeah.
everyone's really approachable, and really lovely. But I'd say there's a Danish athlete called Ida Mathilde, and she's like, for me, she's like the best.
Top notch.
Go.
Yeah, she's
The
like
goat.
incredible. I actually did a Danish race, and I got to race on the start line with her.
Oh
Obviously, she went
wow.
flying off, but I was
Yeah.
like, I'm like on the start line with like my idol. It was amazing.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
And
funny
wicked.
because
I did go speak to her at the end, but I like proper fangirled. My friend was
Mm.
laughing at me. I've never seen you speechless before.
that
Just
was
like,
me the other day on this podcast.
Oh
Genuinely,
yeah.
like it comes out next week. Well, no, it'll be next week for us now. But yeah, anyway, timelines are so messed up because we record these so prior to when they're going out. But yeah, like a few days back, we spoke to like I listened to this podcast for like 5 years,
hmm,
and like one of the hosts from that was on my podcast, and I was
that's
like,
pretty cool.
oh my, like I couldn't believe, and I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
fully tripping over my words and like
We was
going,
having
"Ren."
like a conversation before, and he's like, "Oh my god, I was a Patreon to this guy." I'm like, "Oh right, I'd never listened to his podcast." I was like, "Oh right." He was like, "Oh my, I can't believe it." It's like, I was like, and when he come on, I was like, "Yeah, yeah." I said he was saying before like how much of a hero you are into him. And
I'm getting my retaliation today.
yeah,
You see, do you see
That's
where
it.
it's all
That's
come
it.
from?
Yeah.
It's all retaliation. So, do you worry about like it, like because there's loads of positives to like the sport being bigger and in the
Mm,
Olympics and being recognized by way more people. But does it's a bit like you know when you're joining like a newer business and you get
yeah.
like that family vibe and it's all great and then it goes a bit corporate and you're a bit like whoa, this isn't what I signed up for. Do you get worried like that could happen with the sport at all, like where it could be get maybe a bit too political, a bit too anything like that? Do you have any worries in that sense?
Yeah, I wouldn't say particularly. I think it's, you know, it's mentioned before, and like the federation obviously trying to push it, but to try and keep it how it is.
Mm,
But I know for the Olympics, I think it would need to be probably more like televised. So
yeah.
the sport would need to be more e easy to be on TV, whereas
Yeah, yeah,
currently I wouldn't say it probably is because it's such a distance.
yeah.
So I think there will be a focus on the short distance stuff,
Hmm.
which, and again, that's not really my thing. I'm not quick enough to do the short distance stuff, but
Right.
I think we're so early days. I think any support at this point is good just to grow the sport because I say it's there's not a lot of support at the moment. So
I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't have even known what it was. I
yeah,
genuinely
and a lot of
wouldn't.
people don't know you can do it competitively.
Yeah.
So I think at this point, yeah, any kind of support and
I'm even thinking
promotion's
back
good.
now, I'm like, like there's like certain people that you just know and they can like climb anything and they're like do all of this stuff. I'm like thinking back to people like, damn, they should have done something like this. They would have been so good at that. Like,
Yeah,
because there was always that one person who could like shimmy up a lamppost and climb any tree or do
yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
like they call him like Monkey Man because they could just do anything. And you're like, you could have just applied yourself,
yeah,
something like that. That would have been so good. So that's it's it's like, how do I say it? It's so unknown, and the what, like, because you're saying about it not being televised. I'm trying to think. I'm already thinking about how you could televise something like that. You see, and the only way
yeah,
you'd be able to do it is with either like drone footage or like trail cams. But those cameras would only be, I suppose, at the obstacles. So in between those would sort of be cut out, I guess.
yeah. Like some of the races, I think like America, they'll try and they call them like rabbits. So there'll be other athletes that will run alongside the athletes and film them.
Yeah,
But obviously that footage is only so good, especially when you're in the mountains because it cuts
yeah,
out and
unstable as well.
yeah.
Because you
So
can't run with a stabilizing machine on you because it's just like those big like backpacks like
yeah.
like
But I
running
think like
around.
they said drones probably going forward is probably quite good.
Yeah, they're getting there with like the technology
Yeah.
for them, I believe. Like
There'll be like Starlink on the back soon. Like we can just strap it to your back and just run it.
they've
On the
got that now
internet.
anyway, haven't they? They've got
Have
portable
they?
Starlink. Yeah, yeah. Joe Rogan was talking about it. So like he went to the mountains hunting or something, and he like basically there's like this little just a bit like a solar charger,
Oh,
and it just
really?
unfolds, boom, internet
That's
wherever you
wicked.
want. That is the future. So is obstacle course racing, but Starlink is
That would be a good shout, though, wouldn't it? You could just have that on your backpack. And this,
Yeah.
would you call them markers, or like this marker person? What you're saying about is like where they're running with them.
Yeah.
Have that? Do you know what I mean?
They call them rabbits.
Oh,
So I
rabbits,
think yeah.
B Rabbit, Eminem and 8
Yeah.
Mile. As you can tell, we're not super serious here, so it's fine.
Well, how does that, like? What's like? Do you have like many injuries with this sport? Or
It's funny actually. So I've had an injury 2 years ago. I think it was like a mild sprained ankle. Ironically, it wasn't from doing an obstacle. It was I'd been on like a training run, and me and my friend were like, oh, let's get a cute pic in the tree, like climb the tree. Not very high. I jumped down fine, just landed on a branch, carried on running, didn't feel anything, and like my ankle was not happy later that day, and yeah, that caused an injury. And then I dropped a saucepan on my toe. I'd literally been running all day. I went to the Ninja Warrior place near me and did all this training. Came home, pulled the saucepan out, and the lid fell on my toe.
Ouch.
So I broke my toe.
oh no.
It's always
So yeah,
it's funny, the people who do all this dangerous stuff, they never like hurt themselves doing the dangerous
yeah,
stuff, do they? It's
yeah,
always like mundane things.
yeah,
Is there,
exactly.
do you need like recovery like after though? Like I'd imagine you get like little bumps and bruises and that, like a fair amount.
Yeah, I get quite tired from like when I do a race. I think mentally as well, it's quite tiring. So I will always take a few days, if not a week off after a race, just to kind of recalibrate.
Do you do like
But yeah,
ice
you get
baths, anything like that, or
Do you do
yeah
like sports
sometimes.
massages and stuff as well?
Yes, have sports massage. Kind of as and when I'm getting like a little, when you're feeling like something's pulling or tweaking. And then I try before a race and after a race.
yeah, that's good.
I have like these ice packs for my legs. They're like my friend recommended rather than getting the really expensive like legs. Have you seen the like trousers you can get that
Yeah,
compress? And
yeah.
so I went
Like
for we
space
went for the cheap.
trousers.
Yeah, I went for the cheap version. And they're literally ice packs for horses' legs.
Oh
So
wow,
it's just
okay.
like a big square ice
Yeah.
pack, and you can just wrap it around your leg really tight. So it
Oh,
works for
win.
me. Yeah,
So,
yeah,
and mentally wise, like, is that, are you just like sort of just shutting off from it for a week or so and that's it, and you just like
yeah. So
boom?
and it's like just figuring out kind of how it went and um if you're happy or sad or just it's just they're quite I find it quite emotional sometimes. So
Yeah, no,
it's just
100%.
and then like taking that and figuring out what you want to do going forward, what you need to improve on, or what went well, what went bad.
Listen, man, I cry
How-
when Liverpool lose like cup finals. So,
How does the prep go then for like one of these? Like, what do you give yourself? Because like I used to do powerlifting, and I used to like I always used to give myself like 3 months of training. I used to give myself a 3-month training plan.
Okay,
Work
yeah.
from that. How does that work?
So I'm kind of on like generally it's a 6-week plan, and then it will change. I'll have a little bit of a break between depending on how I'm feeling. But before a race, I will taper. So usually the week before, I will taper. But I know the European Champs that's coming up, I think I've got a 2-week taper. But
what's the taper? Sorry.
Yeah, what's the taper?
So I'll still exercise, but it will be like lighter. So the runs will just be go for a 20-minute easy jog, do some stretching, mobility, maybe do my strength stuff, but very low weights, low reps. So just to keep the body moving, but not do anything too crazy.
And how's your diet got to be for something like this? Is that pretty intense as well, or?
I'm definitely a everything in moderation type person.
Yeah.
I probably could be stricter if I'm honest, but I try to. I generally eat quite healthy.
I was gonna say
fairly
you're
balanced,
like
but
doing exercise all the time as well, right? So
yeah. So and I try and get my get my protein in and stuff like that. But I wouldn't say I'm really strict. But if I'm doing like a 15K race, I'll make sure I've like eaten quite plenty of carbs in the week lead up. And then the main thing as well is hydration for me is I'm not the greatest at getting my water in. So
there's only so
the
much
week
of you
before I
can go
really
to
need
as well,
to.
isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, making sure I'm hydrated and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know, like, I done the Swansea 10K last year, and I've never done a 10K before.
Okay.
And Jesus, I had so much nerves at the start of that race. I had to go to the toilet every 2 minutes.
Oh yeah,
so
that's like
I
standard.
don't know. I don't know what it must be like something like mentally preparing for something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it must be
quite a
insane.
few horror stories of the Portaloos in the racing.
Yeah.
It's,
I think it's like that with nerves, isn't it? It's just in general.
It is, and I think and you talk to people, and everyone's the same. I think you think you're on your own, but actually, when you talk to a lot of people, everyone wants to do is go to the loo when you're like on the morning of the race.
100%.
And yeah, the Portaloos are just especially the second day of a race.
Oh yeah.
And there's been hundreds and thousands of people been in them, and you're already feeling a bit. I get a bit like gaggy when I'm nervous, and then it just hits.
So
It's horrible.
in a race, how many people will be racing in one race? Roughly.
So how many there was in Spartan Mallorca? There was 77 women in my race.
Oh wow. Okay, so it's a lot.
And there'll probably be double the men, probably.
Wow. And do you get anyone who's like a bit dicky about it, where they give you like a nudge or anything like that? You don't get people like that. Like,
no, I wouldn't.
No.
Not that I've ever experienced.
I think you see it on like marathons and stuff, don't you? And things like that, where they're like proper like close and they're like,
yeah. You'll get like some of the especially the elite men at the front, and they'll all be like really ready to go, and I kind of have my little spot. I try and go to the front, but I kind of I let the fast ones go first.
But what's the crowds like as well? Do you get is there like a fair few people who come and watch, or?
Yeah, so it depends on the race again, but there'll be a fair few spectators and.
How does that work?
Yeah, I find so again it depends on the race. So like I know in the UK the Spartans have introduced spectator routes, so there'll be like a marked bit that a spectator can walk along.
Oh,
but
cool.
You could probably only see maybe 4 or 5 obstacles out of the 20.
Yeah.
But some people will, trek to the other side of the course to catch their partner or something.
Yeah.
My husband won't do that, but he always tries to get him a little moped or something. Yeah.
See him on like a golf caddy.
Yeah.
That's because I always think that when I'm watching golf, it's like they got the crowds around them at the tees, and then like because they're all they switch when you watch it, they're switching so many times. I'm like, you can't watch like a whole golf.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you kind of have to pick where you wanna watch someone sometimes.
I went to the Open.
Could you can you just follow like Tiger Woods like to each hole, or do you have to just
Yeah,
pick a
you
hole?
can. Yeah, you can.
You can.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
Just walking around and just like,
yeah,
four.
yeah. No, you can. But like when you're there, like you say, you can't see shit.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's like, he's hit it somewhere that way.
It's like when we went to watch wrestling. We went to watch like WWE once when we were kids, and we were so far back. It's like watching like two little peas like beep, beep, just like knocking against each other.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I find that with ice hockey. It's like I can't see the puck. I'm like, where's it gone?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It's so
I suppose it's
fast,
the same with
isn't it?
football as well. It's the same with like if you're far back, it's super hard to see. You know, is that a sport you follow then? Ice hockey.
I wouldn't say I follow it, but when I go to Canada, I always try and watch a match when I'm out there. And I've watched one of the local teams, the Guildford Flames,
Oh, okay.
a couple of times here. So
Oh, there's ice hockey in England.
yeah, I just know that there's this local team.
Oh, wow.
But my brother said, yeah, apparently there is like a league and everything.
shit.
So
That's
yeah,
the sports are everywhere. You just got to know where to look. You
yeah,
know, it's the same
yeah, exactly.
with obviously your sport as well, which is it's phenomenal. Like the amount of things that people can actually do and be. I'm so like taken aback by how this sport can exist, and like I don't know about it. It's crazy to me because you just assume.
We should go and try a Tough Mudder as well. Like, that
Do you
would be
reckon?
yeah.
How would I
sign up
train
for
for a Tough Mudder, Emily? Please help me.
Get
What do I have to do? Just run.
running and upper body strength.
Oh, I've got the upper body strength. Don't worry about that. I can just get on the running. I've got my treadmill
But
now. So
like, I'm scared of heights, so it's like the high stuff where you're climbing over, and I can
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
So some like there'll be a few people that I know that are scared of heights. For me, it's water. I don't like deep water.
oh yeah.
I've never been a confident swimmer, so anything where I can't reach the bottom, it's quite a lot of
Do you
things.
have
Most
to
of
go
them.
under then? Do
Take
you
it.
get like submerged, like have to go under?
Yeah, so some of the submersions, like the
Oh.
dunk wall, if it's in a like a I don't know, like a pop-up thing they put up, but I can touch the floor,
Yeah.
I'm quite happy to like submerge myself and go under. It's when I can't touch the floor that I get a bit panicky.
Yeah. 100%.
So I think I actually had like a mild panic attack in a race once. I don't, but I basically was like in the water and I couldn't breathe.
Oh wow.
Because I'd gone in and it was like up to my here,
Yeah.
and then I think I went under the thing with a lot of encouragement from the volunteers, but it was like up to here. So I was
Right.
like this, and I was like panicking, and then I couldn't breathe because I was panicking, and they were just saying, "Just breathe." I'm like, "It's easier said than done,"
Yeah.
because I
Breathing is
feel
the
like
most
I'm about to
natural thing,
drown.
but when you're in something
Yeah, and I
uncomfortable, it's like the
just
least.
froze. But I think they've threw a rope for me, which I didn't grab in the end, but I needed that insurance. It was there.
Yeah. 100%. It's
So
just a mental thing, isn't it?
yeah, so from that point I was like, right, I've got to work on my water because they started introducing it into more races.
And do they find like with some of the races, do they find that like they'll make the course so it goes through like a body of water, or is that something they like?
Yeah.
Yeah, they will. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so one of the
Could be all
open
sorts of
races
fish.
I did, when I first started, I couldn't get across because it was too deep, and there's a guy on a canoe, and he was like, "You've got to hug the canoe."
Oh, right.
So I literally was like on the end of this canoe with my like legs wrapped around it to right up it. But
Oh, wow.
makes for good memories.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But I have now, I've now worked on my water.
Is this
my
what
like
your husband's
confidence.
built in the back garden? Like, just digging like a swimming pool. It's ready.
Oh, do imagine.
Do they have to like obviously not so much in England because it's a bit of like a pussy country, but like in like other foreign countries where they've got like more poisonous animals and stuff like that. I'm not trying to scare you, by the way, but like if you're running through like these terrains, do they have to like check it for all this sort of like? Do you get like warned about anything?
I know, like when I went to
That's a good
Canada,
shout.
obviously there's like there is like is it I went to
Have they got
Mammoth
wolves
Lakes
in
in California, and
They
they
got
have
wolves and mountain
bears.
lions and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I
they
wouldn't
say
even have
about
thought
it,
about
and they
that.
just say don't. I would imagine with all the amount of running and people there, they probably wouldn't go there, but obviously there's all the signs. And I remember going to my Airbnb. It was like a ski lodge type place.
Yeah.
Obviously no ski at the time, but no snow. And but there was like a sign saying don't leave your cars unlocked or your doors unlocked, like all the food in there because the bears will get in. I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the problem with these animals as well is they're getting more comfortable with people.
Yeah.
So, like, I was listening to a podcast where they had like an expert on wolves. This is totally off topic, but they had an expert who like deals with like the migration of wolves and packs of wolves and reintroducing them. And they're saying like they're reintroducing them into these parks, and like because people are like, oh, wolves are so cute, da da da, and they're like get edging closer and closer, and it won't be long until they're like they come close enough, and they'll just take
Yeah.
you. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh no, that's scary, man. I
Yeah.
worry
No,
about
it
snakes.
has fought. Yeah, and snakes as well. I was running somewhere and I heard something like run across the floor or slip, and I was like, oh,
Oh no,
it
it could
does
be
Yeah,
anything.
I'll be
yeah, it
done.
does worry me, especially when you're on your own.
You got you got to watch for Bigfoot.
Yeah.
All of these sort of things,
Yeah.
you
I'd
know.
have been shouting, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. Get me out of here now.
Do you have any like pre-race rituals, or is there anything that you like sort of like have to do, anything like that?
I have to take Imodium. That is,
Yeah,
half the time I think I don't need it. It's
it's a
just
mental thing.
if
Mental
I don't
thing,
take
yeah.
it, I'll worry about it.
Yeah.
I need that most days.
I try and eat the same thing, so I always have like my porridge
Yeah.
in the morning. But I try not to get too fixated on anything, especially when I'm in different environments. So
Yeah.
especially when they're traveling, you can't always have what you want.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I try to stick to similar foods. I usually have, I have my kit tested, so I know what I'm racing in.
Yeah.
I've done it before. I've got to have the top that I want and things like that. So
Comfort sort of thing, isn't it? To make
yeah,
sure. Yeah, 100%.
yeah.
What is there any like specific like what's the best brand of like say like shoes for this sort of thing? Is it like
Yeah, there's a few. I like Sauconys.
Sauconys? Don't know if I've ever
They're
heard of those.
like I think they do a mixture, but I obviously get the trail shoes.
Yeah.
I just like they seem to fit my feet better.
Comfortable. Are they like
But
more
yeah,
as comfortable as like normal like trainers, or are they a bit less?
yeah, they're not as cushiony because you kind of need to feel the surrounding because they're
Yeah.
trails. But I really like my trail shoes, but I know other people that will swear by a different brand,
Sure.
and
Sure.
that just suits them better. But yeah, I got Saucony trails, and then I've now actually got Saucony like road running shoes as well because I just like the fit
Oh,
so
cool.
much.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Do they do any like? Do you have like any like testing? Like, are they worried? Like, I don't because obviously I don't know if there is there, like obviously most sports you get tested for like steroids, all that sort of stuff. Is that all in like something they do as well, or
Yeah, so for the world championships they'll
yeah?
do testing. I I think it's only elite level, but we all had to we all had to complete a doping course.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have done that if to be able to compete.
No,
And
that's
then
good.
I guess they pick people at random or through intelligence, I
Okay.
guess. But yeah,
Yeah.
so it was quite interesting doing the course, really.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's it's good stuff to know as well, isn't it? Because some people like in sport they'll like take something and they don't even know like you're not supposed to take it. There's so
Yeah.
many people who get caught out and it's like they take this sort of creatine and it has this product in it and you're
Yeah,
not allowed it, you know. So it's good
yeah,
to have that information.
yeah.
I got quite a contentious question, maybe I don't know.
Okay.
So if or when it goes Olympic level,
hmm
would you would it be men's separated from women's? I'd assume,
Yeah, I think so.
right? Is that right?
Yeah,
Because it's not like a mixed sex sport. Well, I suppose it is at the minute, right? It's a mixed sex sport at the minute, but in the Olympics they'd have to split it up, right?
yeah. Well, we have our categories are you race, so in your age categories and your gender.
Okay, cool. But you all run the same race, but they like like
Yeah, so the
your
men will
set,
have heavier weights than
right?
us.
Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Because I was just sat there thinking, because you said there was like double the men and like 77 women. I was like, it's making it sound like an impossible task. But then when you whittle it down, it's obviously not. Like, well, it's still hard. I'm not
Yeah,
saying it's not hard,
yeah.
but you know, it seems more possible for sure. All right, you got anything you want to know, Bix? I've powered through my
What would you
questions.
say? What would you say to someone wanting to start OCR, or how would they go about getting involved in the OCR?
Yeah, I'd say definitely say do an open run first. Try and do it with friends if you want to, it is a good laugh with friends, but just to get the feel for it and see if you like it. But if you do want to do it competitively, it's just reaching out to people that are doing it already. So you've obviously got the federation that have all the information online and stuff, and then people like myself and some of the others, we love getting people involved. So very happy to.
The more the merrier, right?
Yeah, exactly. Share knowledge
It just
and
gets more people, more eyes on them.
yeah, it's a really supportive community actually. Because sometimes when you look at sports, you think it's a bit, and you have like your groups, and it can be a bit, maybe even a bit catty with the girls, but it's such a lovely community. So like, there's girls that I'll race against, and I'm competing against them, but you still really want them to do well, and it's the same.
It's a bit like footballers now. It's a bit like, is that everything? Most like sport, even if you look at like politicians and stuff, they all go out for dinner together, don't they? Like everybody, they're all mates. Like if you've got Liverpool and Chelsea players and they play a final against each other, then they go and have lunch together after. It's all, sports is fun. It's there to there to be enjoyed, and luckily some people get paid to do what they enjoy. And that's sort of where it is. But as long as you're having fun doing it, that's sort of that's the aim, isn't it? It's life is about.
I've made so many friends through the sport as well.
Yeah,
and like friends that I would say are like my lifelong friends now. So
like outside the like, even if you like quit tomorrow, you'd still like be their friend, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the worry I say when I say about it getting bigger. Though, see, that's the sort of thing that I'd worry about, is like the outside influence coming in, and then you having that catty atmosphere and all these people who are like not over competitive, but like they can be, and then they take that competitiveness outside of the actual racing. That's where like the worry would come from, with it getting like a bit bigger, if that makes sense. But it sounds like it won't, and it sounds like it'll be awesome.
What's the plans for the rest of the year for you?
So I've got 2 races in the UK coming up in May. So one of them is the British Champs. So
where's that being held?
that is at Nuclear Wild Forest. So it's a obstacle facility in Essex.
Oh, okay.
So and this is where I shall hopefully conquer my water fear. They've got I've been to Nuclear before for training. And I've actually been having some water sessions with one of the guys there to try and get over my fear of it. But they have a big slide that they call the death slide. So it's pretty much like a drop slide, and then you go up, and then you fall into the water.
So this course is already there, yeah?
Yes.
So can you just go down there, I want a day session here, and practice as much as you want?
Yes. So some of the obstacles, I don't know if they're setting up obstacles just for the race. I would imagine some of them they will, but some of them, like the slide and some of the more basic obstacles, will be ones that you can go and practice on.
So is that something that you'll do like in your training plan to go like prep to go down there?
Yeah. The week before there's an actual like kind of guided training session with, I think it's the race director. So I'm doing that, and then I've actually booked a water session in just so I've got my I'm pretty sure I can do it now. But I just want it in my head.
Yeah. We believe in you. Everyone believes in you. Don't worry about that. Anything else? So you've got that
so
one.
I've got those 2. After that is a Spartan. So that's in Henley. So that'd be part of the series.
Okay.
So I think it's a 10K that I'm doing on that one. And then in June I'm doing the European Champs, which are in Portugal.
Oh, nice.
So that's exciting. I've not been in Portugal before, so that'll be good. I've got Sweden in August. That's just for like summer's pretty busy racing. The World Champs is in Sweden as well in September. I have a few other UK races.
Do you prefer so like do you prefer doing it in like a hotter or a colder country? Like, what do you prefer?
Hot country.
Yeah, I wouldn't see. I'm ginger, I burn. So yeah. Back to
Yeah,
50 just can't even do that.
my training buddy, she does not do well
Yeah.
in the heat. And the amount of times I've found it, I should like. Well, we say we're good friends, so we laugh at each other.
Yeah,
But I
yeah, of
find it
course.
at the end of the race, collapse on the finish line, and like everyone's like putting water and flannels over her head. I'm like, again.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's so funny. Emily just sits here like, yeah, I just got a 10K to do. I'm sat here like sweating, thinking about it. Like, oh my lord. So I see you've got a hell of a lot of medals as well.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
Mm,
wow. That's I don't think I've
yeah.
ever actually got a medal. I don't think I own a
Um,
medal.
So
She
yeah.
bully too much. That's why.
Yeah, I got the medal for bullying. So
Mm.
how many? So how does it work with like, say, if you were to be like, here's my stats. So like first place, second place. How does it work like that? So like, where would you? I suppose you're proud of finishing every run. I get that, but like, where would
Yeah.
be the celebration time for you? At what point would you be like, this is sick? Like I've done really good.
Yeah, so it depends on the race again. So
Mm.
like those bestial races that I said about that are brutal with the one band.
Yeah.
So I've never actually finished with my band, but like
Okay.
one of my best races was probably one of those races where I got almost to the end with my band, which, there's like certain obstacles that I wanted to do that I trained
Yeah.
for that I couldn't do before.
Oh, right.
But ultimately the aim is the podium.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
So I have had a few podium moments which have been pretty epic.
Decent.
Do they get like the
Yeah,
champagne and you can spray it? Is it like
they
Formula
don't
One
do that
style?
here. They do it in Denmark. You often see them doing that, but yeah,
We
you
can write a
get your
letter.
podium. Yeah,
You'll write them a
Emily
letter.
wants champagne.
Get champagne. If not, we'll just have to come one day and be
You
like,
just
"Here's
turn
the
up with the
bottle."
champagne.
Yeah, chug it over and try not to hit anybody as we chug it.
Stone cold it though.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Well, listen, it's been. Is there anything else you wanna talk about with regards to like the sport, anything like that you want to let people know about, anything or?
No, I think we've pretty much covered everything. But yeah, if anyone's interested, do just give me a message. So happy to
And we
help
will.
anyone.
What's
If you
before?
guys want to do one as well, I'll do an open run with you. Drag you around the course.
You are joking. You are joking. And they can find you on Instagram, es
Yeah.
underscore Lil Viking.
Yes,
And
Danish
that's
for little.
cool, got ya. I was just thought Lil was just slang, so I'm learning. I
Yeah.
learn something new every time I do a podcast. I absolutely love it. But yeah, everyone can find you at es underscore Lil Viking, and that's LILLEVIKING.
Yeah.
And I'll put it in the show notes anyway, so everyone will be able to see it. Well, thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, thank you for
It's
having
been
me.
Good
brilliant.
conversation.
It's sick. I love it. Love learning things, and I'm actually I'm going to pay way more attention to this sort of thing now. It's going to be sick. But as always, peoples, if you've listened, which you have because you're here, please just hit a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, 5 stars, write a little note. Hit subscribe on YouTube, like the videos, like our content, share it if you want, tell your nan about it, tell your dog about it, tell your friends about it. And yeah, thanks for listening. Stay sexy, people.
And safe.